Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've never gone into this race actually thinking I was going to win anything, so I'm always going in and just have a good time. My name is Kyle Horvath, and I am from Ely, Nevada. This is my 5th time, and so I've came the first year I came with a 4-person team, and then I've been on 5-person teams with my daughter and son, and everything like that. And then this was the first year that I did solo.
Crazy.
Yeah, looking back on it, yeah, it's a pretty crazy experience.
And you made it all the way through.
Yeah, totally. I got 10 laps in. I was pretty stoked on that. That was my longest continuous ride ever. So 169 miles, and yeah, it feels pretty good.
Crazy in the middle of the ride.
I mean, yeah, when I was hallucinating between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. from like a lack of sleep, but yeah, the cactus looked pretty crazy when you're delirious. But I'll tell you, when the sun came up, it was like being a whole new person. Like, I don't know if that was for you too, but like when you rode in the daylight,
it helped a little bit.
I would say for 3/4 of the first ride in the sunset, I felt like I was invincible. And then I got to the high point climb, and then I was like, yeah, I'm definitely not invincible. What up? 10 laps.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
But you're not interviewing.
Stoked.
But I got one more than Kyle.
You did get one more than me. And I was actually debating because I came in at like 9:15. And I was like, I could go out for another one and get 11. And then Arlie was like, well, I'm going out for my last lap, so let's just do it together.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, totally.
Party lap.
Party lap. What?
That counts.
It was his 10th.
It was my 10th one, not my 11th one. I would have gone out for like another quick lap, but yeah, like I said, that last climb, I was just like, yeah, I don't need to be going out for another lap. Just, glimpses of light and shit flashing out of the corner of your eye and, things like that. But it definitely was like, I don't know, it was definitely like a head game, especially riding at night, and there's like long stretches where you don't see anybody and you're just out there and it's dark and you're just like, what am I doing? You're going slow, and then all of a sudden, like a train of like 20 fast people will come past you and just pass you like you're standing still, and you're like, all right, cool, I guess I'm on the right track.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, what drives you when you're out there? Because you have to have thoughts of like, I don't know what you think. I've never done.
The fact that I said I was going to do this, and I've told people, and I didn't want to go back and like be somebody who said shit and didn't do it,
Yeah.
So I guess that's it. I mean, that's if you mouth off enough, you're kind of on the hook to at least give it a good shot. But on the second lap, I cramped so bad on the second lap. When you saw me,
Oh, you're cramping.
I was peeing in the corner, but I also was cramping, and I was like, that's it. My race is done, dude. I'm cramping on the second lap. This is garbage. And then the third lap was a little bit better, and then 4 through 10 was awesome.
Did you like rest at all? Did you come back and chill?
Yes. Yeah. So the course is like right there. So I'd come back and fill up the water bottles and the nutrition and.
Would you use to power yourself through this? Like physically?
Goo Roctane. I like that stuff. Mostly like goo products. I know it's not the sponsor of the event, but that's what I brought out here, and I noticed a difference in like the Roctane. Amino acids, magnesium, all that stuff. But I did actually take too much beet juice or beet root powder. It didn't do good for my stomach. So there was one lap where I was like, get me to a bathroom quick. But I guess that happens when you're doing powdered nutrition, and a little bit, but not as much as I would have wanted to. I would have loved it if there was like a pizza waiting for me when I got back. I had chicken Alfredo that I would eat a little bit, but even that was just kind of like, you could only eat so much, and so you feel like you're just like bogging yourself down, or you're gonna get full, and the worst thing could like throwing up after an effort out there, and it would just be miserable. No, this one, if we were doing like a 5-person team, I'd probably just get up off the couch and come ride bikes. But doing solo, there definitely needed to be some training that had to go on. So I took it a lot more seriously than I had in past years, and I'm glad I did because I'm happy with my result. You know, I mean, 10 laps was pretty good. You know, oh yeah, my poor girlfriend's gonna have to hear about it for like ever. It feels good, but you know, I mean, Nancy got 11, Anton got 11. The person who won it probably got 23.
They're amazing. Was everybody passing you?
Oh yeah, totally. But that was like the one thing that you had to be like comfortable with, where you're like, don't get hung up in somebody else's race. You know, if this is the pace that I can go uphill, and I got to do this pace like 10, 11, 12 times up this hill, you know, don't try to chase some fast person that's like plowing up the hill. You know, they got their own thing going on. So that was, but honestly, if I'm doing like a regular cross country race, I got people passing me all the time too. I'm just redlining, trying to keep up with them. And this time it was more like, all right, cool, man. Have fun. Good luck. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, it was cool. I mean, this is my absolute favorite place. I love coming here. I've been to Burning Man a bunch of times, and when Todd told me that this event was like the Burning Man of bike races,
that's how it was described to me too.
Yeah, and I was like, well, I've been to Burning Man, Todd. I don't know, you know. And then you just see how the city pops up, you see how the community comes together, you see how supportive it is. It's a really, really special place. And then so to share it with your friends, to share it with your kids, you know, to build an extended family. I mean, he's right. There's people that I look forward to seeing every year, and the only time I'm going to see him is here. You know, so it is a really special place. And you know, I mean, I've done a fair share of bike races, and none of them have been able to capture the vibe that Epic Rides has captured here. So there's a guy right now. He's in our town. He's from Utah, but he's a professional interviewer, and he got hired by University of Utah to interview downwinders, which are the people who were downwind of all the nuclear testing that was happening in Nevada and New Mexico. And so, I mean, there's like a whole level of citizens that grew up during a time where they'd be like, oh yeah, there was a huge flash in the sky, and you know, and now they've got all these crazy diseases. So he's interviewing and capturing those stories. And so to hear him kind of talk about the technique and how you have to be okay with uncomfortable silence, where you're like, you ask a question and then you just sit there, and eventually they become uncomfortable with the and then start talking and elaborating and telling more and stuff like that. I'm like, that's genius, man. You just wait them out.
Yeah.
You know, which kind of just prime the pump. And no, I think the human element is kind of an essential part, because you want people to have a relationship with your finished product. You know, you want them to be able to like relate to it more than just like pretty pictures.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
they're fun.
You could do a montage of drone and photos and things like that over music, and it's like,
yeah.
But if you learn somebody's story, or you know, you get something out of that personal interaction, then you're in it, you're supporting it, you're on the hook, you know. Quad Eagle.
Quad Eagle
is my Instagram, like QUAD _ Eagle.
Okay.
It's a long story, but
yeah, no, I'll send you.
Yeah, that'd be rad. Or anything Visit Ely, Nevada comes back to me. I'm the tourism director, so anything Visit Ely, Nevada, like rolls right back to my office. So
very cool.
I like it. I like when you go out and you're like, oh yeah, we just did 170 miles worth of riding, and people are like, what? We did a ride from the Ely train depot to the Caliente train depot. It was 140 miles. People's minds were blown. Yeah. You know, they were like, what? How did you even come up with that? You know, so there is a level of fun to like blow people's minds. The goal is I wanted to do this. I didn't want to be broken. I wanted to play the nutrition right. You know, I did the research. I did the training. I did the stretching so that like I didn't hurt. Because going into this, before, like every bike specific pain you could possibly have, I had it. You know, and so it was like a matter of doing yoga and not overtraining and just to try to feel as good as possible.
Yeah.
You know, and then I still go out and cramp in the second lap.
Because you're pushing too hard.
Because I was pushing too hard. And I even went out in the last lap with these guys, and I was like riding about as fast as I did in the first lap. And they're all like, whoa, what's up, 10 laps? 10 lap legs?
Drew Tyger.
And how do we get in contact with you?
My Instagram, it's forward movement 2222.
Sweet.
Yeah, and I live in Tucson.
Sweet.
I was like, maybe sometime I'll do a mountain bike race or something, and immediately Matt invited me to do this 24-hour race, and I was like, well, that's a heck of a mountain bike race to start out with. And then I did the first lap for us, did the Le Mans start. That was insane. I was probably way too far up at the beginning and about died in the bitches. I was like rear wheel off the ground over like a whoop-de-doo, about to do an endo. There's someone on the ground, like there's carnage, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got my rear wheel down and got around them. This was like 5 minutes into the race, and that first lap hauled ass. For me, it was extremely fast, and I was on track for an hour and 5 minutes, and then, don't judge me, I came too harshly. I'd ridden the course in December and knew I'm not doing the drop off. I'm not doing the big rock drop, all right? Just not doing it. And I was just following someone's wheel, and all of a sudden there's the big rock drop at the end, and I like stopped, and I was like way over my head. There's like 10 people behind me yelling, and there's a huge crowd because it's the first lap, and I'm like, I'm not going. I can't run down over this thing. And I freaking walked back on the course and came around, and there's some interesting pictures of me standing there at the top,
Yeah.
not being rad. And then I finished the lap and I was like, that's awesome, I'm coming back again next year. Fast forward to like 3 a.m. and I'm like, life is pointless, there's no meaning to it, and I'm never doing this again. I did a lap this morning though, it was sunny and I wasn't cramping and it was great. And I think I'll come back to the 24-hour race. That's my race in a nutshell. It was a real roller coaster. Oh dude, definitely from like 1:30 till 3 a.m. just like, I don't know how. I ate like half a bag of these Swedish fish and then went out and was just like really dogging it, man. Actually, we have a random guy. We lost a teammate, and then Joe over here put a message.
I heard you talking about this yesterday. Yeah, you
put
should
a
definitely tell
message.
this.
He put a message on like Tucson Cycling on Facebook or something, and some guy from Flagstaff responded, Dan. And he came down. He just like showed up at our campsite. I was like, "Hey, I'm here to fill in." He did one lap for us. Gave us a little break, and rode a single speed after eating like 2 weed cookies. And I like Dan. I like it. He showed up right away, and like with a joint, and we were like best friends right away. Yeah, I mean, my only regret, if there's any, is that we spent enough time riding that I didn't have time to like sit around and chill out with everyone at the campsite, because I think the riding's fun. I think my favorite part is just like the camping out and hanging out with everyone.